Hey there, achievers and dream chasers. Welcome back to the channel that fuels your personal growth, productivity, and power mindset. If you've ever felt stuck in the loop of always being around, always saying yes, always showing up, but still getting overlooked, then this episode is your wake-up call. Today, we dive deep into the difference between being available and being valuable. And trust me, this shift in mindset can change your entire life professionally and personally. So grab your coffee, plug in those headphones, and let's talk value over presence. Part 1. The Curse of Constant Availability. Availability is often mistaken for dedication. You show up early, you stay late. You answer every call, respond to every message, attend every meeting. You're always there. But here's the hard truth. Being constantly available doesn't make you indispensable. In fact, it can make you invisible. When people are used to your constant presence, they begin to take it for granted. Your time starts to feel cheap. You're no longer seen as someone who brings unique value. You're just there. And in a world full of noise, presence without impact is just another background sound. That's where the trap lies. You get stuck in a cycle of over-delivering time without ever being truly recognized or rewarded for what you're worth. To break out of this trap, you need to understand a powerful truth. Time given doesn't equal value created. Value comes from results, from insight, from irreplaceability. You can work 20 hours and produce mediocrity, or you can spend 2 focused hours and deliver brilliance. Which one do you think leaves a mark? This journey of becoming valuable starts with redefining how you measure your contribution. Are you measuring it in hours, in tasks, in availability? Are you measuring it in outcomes, in innovation, in how much better you make the lives and systems around you? Because value isn't about volume, it's about impact. And in this podcast series, we'll break it down step by step, so you don't just learn this, you live it. Part 2. The Illusion of Busyness. Busyness has become a badge of honor. People boast about back-to-back meetings, endless to-do lists, and sleepless nights like it's proof of their worth. But here's a truth that few talk about. Being busy doesn't mean you're being valuable. It just means you're occupied. And being occupied is not the same as being impactful. You can fill your calendar to the brim, reply to every email within seconds, and jump on every Zoom call you're invited to, and still fail to move the needle. Why? Because busyness often distracts us from what actually matters. It keeps us in motion, but not in progress. It's activity without advancement. Being valuable means stepping back and asking, is what I'm doing really important? Is it pushing the mission forward? Is it solving a problem or just keeping me occupied? This kind of thinking separates leaders from followers, creators from consumers, strategists from executors. Valuable people don't chase noise, they create clarity. And here's something powerful. The most valuable people are not the most available ones. They're the most intentional. They're not caught up in constant motion. They're calm, deliberate, and focused. They understand that every yes to something trivial is a no to something transformational. So they protect their time like it's gold, because it is. This doesn't mean you become distant or unreliable. It means you stop mistaking motion for meaning. It means you start saying yes to impact and no to distraction. When you become more intentional about where your energy goes, you start doing less, but achieving more. That's the paradox of value. It's not about how much you do, it's about how much what you do matters. Part 3. Skills over signals. We live in a world obsessed with signaling. Job titles, LinkedIn activity, resume buzzwords, online hustle all tools to show the world, hey, I'm doing something. But true value is not in how loud you signal, it's in how deeply you solve. Value is created by solving meaningful problems with excellence, not by announcing your effort with flair. Here's the key. Skills beat signals every single time. While others are busy broadcasting their effort, the valuable ones are refining their craft. They are learning, experimenting, delivering, adjusting. They don't just look capable, they are capable. And capability is silent power. It doesn't need to shout because results speak for themselves. Think of the people you truly admire in any field: technology, medicine, art, sports, entrepreneurship. What sets them apart? It's not just their presence. It's their precision, their mastery, their ability to do what others can't. And that's not built overnight. It's built by showing up every day for your own growth before you show up for anyone else's expectations. So if you want to be valuable, start here. Invest in mastery. Sharpen your core skills until you can deliver with confidence and consistency. Learn to go deep rather than wide. Learn to specialize, not just generalize. Because generalists may be helpful, but specialists become essential. And essentials don't need to chase attention, opportunities come looking for them. This is how you move from being replaceable to rare, from being convenient to critical, from available to valuable. Mastery changes your market position. You go from being an option to being the solution. And in a noisy world, being the solution is the most powerful form of influence there is. Part 4. Proactive, not reactive. One of the greatest marks of value is foresight. Valuable people don't wait to be told what to do. They anticipate. They prepare. They act before problems become crises. If you're always reacting, always waiting for instructions, always responding to what's already happened, then you're functioning as a tool, not a strategist. Tools are replaceable. Strategists, they're priceless. Reactive people are always playing catch-up. They're on the defense, putting out fires, jumping from one task to another. But proactive individuals, they build systems that prevent fires. They see trends before they explode. They read people, markets, and teams in a way that positions them to lead instead of follow. Here's the shift. Don't just fulfill tasks foresee needs. Think one step ahead. Offer solutions before the problem is spoken out loud. Add insights to meetings instead of just notes. Prepare what's needed before someone even realizes it's missing. This anticipatory value is rear-end, it is remembered. People don't rise because they're reactive. They rise because they learn to own their lane and then expand it. Okay, you become the person others come to not because you're always available, but because you always deliver insight, progress, and clarity. That's the person who gets trusted, promoted, invested in. Not the one who simply says yes fast, but the one who says, here's how we make this better. If you want to move beyond presence and step into true impact, start asking yourself daily, what would a valuable person do next? What would they anticipate? What would they prepare? What would they recommend that no one's thought of yet? How you stop being a piece on the board and start playing the game. Part 5. Boundaries build value. One of the most misunderstood truths in life is this. Saying yes to everything doesn't make you helpful, it makes you forgettable. When you're always available, always saying yes, always accommodating your time starts to feel cheap. Not because it is, but because you haven't taught others to treat it like it's worth something. Value has boundaries. Gold is valuable because it's scarce. Expertise is respected because it's earned. Time is priceless because it's finite. And yet, most people treat their time like it's unlimited, giving it away to anyone who asks, for any reason, at any time. That's not generosity. That's neglect. Valuable people understand this. Every time you protect your time, energy, and focus, you're reinforcing your value. It's not arrogance, it's stewardship. You are the guardian of your own capacity. If you allow distractions, emotional labor, and low-return obligations to fill your schedule, you will have nothing left for deep work, for real growth, for actual impact. Setting boundaries doesn't mean shutting people out. It means structuring your availability to protect your ability to contribute at your highest level. It's not about doing less. It's about doing the right things for the right reasons at the right time. So, how do you build boundaries that elevate your value? Start by recognizing your peak energy zones and block them for your most important work. Learn to say no, not rudely, but firmly and respectfully. Communicate your focus and stick to it. Value your time so much that others begin to do the same. 'Cause when your time is respected, your contributions become sharper, your decisions clearer, and your impact stronger. In the long game of personal and professional success, boundaries are not barriers, they are multipliers. They don't push people away. They invite the right people in, on the right terms, at the right time. Part 6. Be seen without shouting. There's a common misconception that if you're truly valuable, people will just notice. But in the real world, especially in competitive environments, unseen value is undervalued. You can be brilliant, capable, and full of potential, but if no one knows how, when or where to apply what you bring, you'll be overlooked. Being visible doesn't mean being loud. It doesn't mean posting on social media every day, bragging in meetings, or hijacking conversations. Strategic visibility is about intentionally and authentically showing the impact of your work. It's positioning yourself so that your value is not hidden behind your humility. Here's the key. Visibility must be earned, not demanded. You earn it by solving problems that matter, by sharing outcomes that inspire, and by helping others See how you make a difference. Whether it's a well-written email that summarizes your contribution to a project, a thoughtful comment in a meeting that shifts the direction, or a presentation that connects strategy to action, these are all subtle ways to shine without shouting. Valuable people don't compete for attention. They don't rely on flashy signals. They rely on alignment between what they do, what they share, and what others need. They make it easy for people to understand when, why, and how to turn to them. And once that's understood, their influence grows naturally without force. Strategic visibility is about stewardship, not self-promotion. It's about guiding attention toward your outcomes, your insights, your innovation. And when done right, it invites the right conversations, the right recognition, and the right opportunities. It's not about putting on a show, it's about building a presence so rooted in value that people trust you without being sold to. So if you've been quietly doing great work and wondering why no one's noticing, ask yourself, have I made it easy for others to see the value I bring? If not, it's time to step into the light strategically, intentionally, and powerfully. Part 7. Perception shapes reality. You might have heard the phrase, perception is reality. It sounds unfair, especially if you're someone who believes that actions speak louder than words. But in practice, how people perceive you often determines the opportunities you're given, the trust you're extended, and the influence you hold regardless of your actual talent or intent. Let's be clear. Perception is not the same as pretending. It's not about creating a fake image. It's about ensuring that the version of you the world sees aligns with your actual value. If you don't shape your narrative, others will do it for you unoften. They'll get it wrong. Valuable people understand that every interaction is a chance to either reinforce or dilute their reputation. It's in the consistency of your tone, the clarity of your message, the quality of your work, and the posture you hold when no one is watching. Whether you like it or not, you are always being observed. So the question is not if you're sending a message, but what that message is. So how do you shape perception intentionally? You start by identifying the core of your professional identity. Are you the person who brings clarity in chaos, innovation in routine, execution in confusion? Whatever it is, amplify that consistently. Speak it, show it, live it. Don't blend into noise. Stand out with integrity. Then, make sure your presence matches your positioning. How you communicate, how you carry yourself, how you respond under pressure, all of it builds a story. Valuable people don't leave that story to chance. They design it through alignment between who they are, how they show up, and what they consistently deliver. And here's the truth. When perception aligns with performance, you become unstoppable. People don't just trust you, they believe in you. They advocate for you, follow you, invest in you. Because in a distracted world, a clear and consistent identity is magnetic. Part 8. Elevate others. Expand yourself. One of the biggest misconceptions about becoming valuable is that it's a solo pursuit. That to rise, you must outshine, outcompete, or outwork everyone around you. But the truth is this. The most valuable people aren't the ones who stand above others. They're the ones who lift others up with them. When you help others grow, you become the source of growth. And in any team, company, or community, sources are irreplaceable. They're not just seen as contributors, they're seen as catalysts. People who don't just get results, but who help everyone around them get better, sharper, more confident, more capable. You don't become valuable by hoarding knowledge. You become valuable by sharing it wisely and generously. By mentoring, by guiding, by encouraging, by challenging with care. When you elevate others, you deepen your influence. Not by force, but through trust, respect, and relational credibility. And here's the secret. Elevating others doesn't diminish your spotlight. It expands your reach. When you speak up for someone who can't, when you recommend someone for a role, when you quietly coach a peer without seeking credit, you create value that echoes, and those echoes come back. Not always immediately, but inevitably. People remember how you made them feel. They remember who believed in them when they didn't yet believe in themselves. They remember who created space, who cleared confusion, who gave feedback not to cut down, but to build up. That memory. That's your legacy in the making. So if you want to rise in value, learn to multiply it. Be the person who notices potential, who unlocks it, who passes the mic when it matters. Because in the economy of true influence, the ones who build others build the future. Part 9. Sustainability over sacrifice. In the pursuit of success, many fall into a dangerous trap, equating value with self-sacrifice. The late nights, skipped meals, missed family moments, mental exhaustion all worn like war medals. The unspoken message, look how much I gave up, so I must be worth something. But here's a truth too few talk about. Burnout is not a badge of honor, it's a warning sign. Valuable people don't build short-term impressions. They build long-term influence. And for that, you need sustainability. You need systems, habits, and boundaries that protect your energy, your creativity, and your mental clarity. Why? Because if you break down, your value breaks down with you. No one wins if the person with the most potential ends up exhausted, jaded, or bitter from trying to carry everything on their own shoulders. It starts with understanding the cost of being constantly on, when you never pause, never rest, never reflect. You're not actually producing more value, you're just speeding toward depletion. Even machines need maintenance. Your mind, body, and spirit are far more intricate than any machine. You need rest, recovery, and time to think deeply. Not just to survive, but to innovate, to create, to lead. Sustainability also means designing your workflow with intention. Delegate what you don't need to own. Automate what repeats. Eliminate what drains without return. Prioritize with brutal clarity. Do fewer things better. Valuable people don't wear chaos as a crown. They seek flow, rhythm, clarity. Not to be slow, but to be strategic. And sustainability isn't just about health or time. It's also about emotional regulation. Valuable people don't react to every frustration or setback. They develop internal systems to reset, recharge, and return stronger. 'Cause part of value is consistency, not just in output, but in emotional presence. People trust those who are stable, grounded, clear-headed, under pressure. So here's the real flex. Not the person who gives the most hours, but the one who brings the most impact per hour. Not the one who says yes to everything, but the one who says yes to the right things, with full focus and full heart. Not the one who's always online, but the one whose work still speaks even when they're offline. If you want to stay valuable not just today, not just this quarter, but over the next 10, 20, even 30 years, you have to play the long game. Invest in yourself like you're your own most valuable asset, because you are. Build with longevity in mind. Pace yourself with the future in sight. Your greatness is not proven by how fast you burn, but by how brightly and steadily you shine. Part 10. Living your value, lifelong commitment. As we wrap up this journey from being merely available to becoming truly valuable, it's time to look at the big picture. Because value is not a destination, it's a continuous way of living, a commitment you renew every single day. It's not just about what you do at work or in your career. It's how you show up in every relationship, every challenge, every opportunity. Being valuable is about intentionality. It's about waking up with a clear sense of purpose and choosing to invest your time, energy, and talent where they matter most. It's about recognizing that your worth isn't defined by how busy you are or how much you say yes, but by the impact you create, the solutions you offer, and the lives you touch. Think back on what we've covered. The difference between availability and impact. How busyness can be a distraction from value. The power of deep skills over surface signals. Moving from reactive to proactive leadership. The importance of setting boundaries to protect your worth. Making your value visible without shouting. Shaping perception to align with your authentic self. Elevating others to multiply your influence. Building sustainability to last through challenges and growth. All of these pieces form a holistic approach to a life well lived, where your value isn't a fleeting moment or a title, it's a force that consistently propels you forward and lifts those around you. But here's the catch. Knowing this isn't enough. It's easy to nod along, to feel inspired, but then slip back into old habits of endless availability without true value. The transformation happens when you commit to practice. When you choose to apply these principles with discipline, reflection, and courage. Start small. Take one boundary and defend it fiercely. Dedicate 1 hour each day to sharpening a key skill. Speak up once in a meeting to share a thoughtful insight. Mentor someone quietly without expectation. Pause and reflect on what's truly important before saying yes again. And here's the beautiful part. This commitment doesn't just change your life, it changes the culture around you. Your team, your family, your community, they will start to value presence with purpose. They will learn from your example. They will begin to hold their own value with respect and intention. So, to all the listeners tuning in, being valuable is a lifelong journey. It requires patience, persistence, and passion. It's a daily choice to be more than just available, to be someone who moves the needle. who inspires, who leads with heart and mind. Thank you for investing your time with me on this series. If you found value here, share this with someone who needs to hear it. Comment below your biggest takeaway. And remember to subscribe so you don't miss future content that will help you grow even further. Until next time, keep showing up, not just in presence, but in power, because your value is waiting to be unleashed. If you want to dive deeper into becoming your best self, hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and join our community of value builders. This is your channel name, where we turn presence into purpose. See you in the next episode.